Feeling anxious? Overwhelmed? Well, what if I told you there's a powerful 2,000-year-old secret for taking back control? It's called the Epictetus method, and you'll be surprised at how simple it is. Let's dive in.
But first, before we get into any of it, I want you to do something that might feel a little weird. Just stop for 1 second. Take a breath. Believe it or not, this simple little pause, that's the very first step.
So, let's just be real for a minute. Does this sound familiar? Feeling like you're constantly just reacting to things? Like you're being pulled around by forces you can't control? Just completely overwhelmed by stuff happening to you?
Well, here's the diagnosis. That feeling, that constant low-level buzz of anxiety, it pretty much always comes from one single source. It's the struggle, the fight to control things that are, and always will be, completely outside of our control. And understanding that, that's where our guide comes in. To find the answer, we're actually going to travel way back in time to ancient Rome. But we're not looking to some emperor or a famous general for advice. Nope, we're looking to a slave. This is the practical, no-nonsense philosophy of Epictetus. See, Epictetus wasn't some academic sitting in an ivory tower just thinking deep thoughts. He was a slave. I mean, think about that for a second. He couldn't control his own body, his freedom, or where he went. So for him, philosophy wasn't some thought experiment. It was a literal tool for survival. This wisdom was forged in the fire of real-world hardship. And that's exactly why it's so powerful for us today. And here it is. This is the absolute core of his entire philosophy. It's not the event itself, the bad news, the criticism, the traffic jam that causes us pain. It's the story we tell ourselves about the event. It's our judgment, our opinion that truly messes with us. And that insight, that is the key that unlocks everything else. So this leads us right to the heart of the method. The entire system, the secret to freeing yourself from a huge chunk of your anxiety, it all boils down to asking yourself one simple but incredibly powerful question. This is it. That's the question. The next time you feel that wave of stress or worry washing over you, you just stop and you ask yourself this one thing. Is this within my control or not? It's a simple question, but man, it has profound consequences. See, your answer sends you down one of two very different paths. If the answer is yes, if it's about your effort, your choices, your attitude, then your job is simple. Take focused action. But if the answer is no, and let's be honest, it usually is, things like other people's decisions, the past, the economy, then your instruction is just as clear, even if it's harder. You have to consciously let it go. Trying to hang on to it is the very definition of suffering. Okay, so theory is great, but it's pretty useless if we can't actually apply it, right? So let's make this real. We're going to walk through two common scenarios that I'm sure we've all been through. All right, first up, the harsh critic. You know this one. You pour your heart and soul into a project, and then someone just tears it apart. And you feel that familiar sting of anxiety and anger start to rise up. Okay, but before you react, before you start spiraling, you stop. You ask the question, in this situation, what is actually in my control? So let's break it down. What's not in your control? Their opinion. You literally cannot force them to change their mind. Wasting energy there is completely pointless. But what is in your control? Your response. You can choose to learn from it, maybe find a little grain of truth, or you can choose to dismiss it and move on. All of your power is in your response, not in changing their mind. Let's try a tougher one that hits a little harder. Dealing with loss. You lose a big client or you get laid off from a job, and the ground just feels like it's falling out from under you. And again, right in the middle of that panic, you have to find your anchor. You ask yourself the question, what here is actually in my control? So, what's not in your control? The decision. It's been made, it's in the past, and you absolutely cannot control the past. Fretting over it is useless. So, where is your power? It's in what you can control. Your time, your effort, right now. How you spend today networking, updating your resume, planning what's next. And I promise you, the moment you shift your focus to those actions, the anxiety starts to fade away, and it's replaced by a sense of purpose. And that transformation right there, that's the real point of all this. This isn't just about feeling less anxious. It's about living a more effective and meaningful life. It's about making that shift from worry to purpose. Now, I have to be really clear about something because it's a huge misunderstanding. Stoicism is not about becoming a robot. The goal is never to suppress your feelings or pretend you don't have them.
No, instead, it's about being smarter with your emotional energy. It's about taking all that fuel you were burning on useless worry and rerouting it, pointing it toward things you can actually influence. It transforms you from a victim of your circumstances into an effective actor in your own life.
You know, if you remember nothing else, remember this simple mantra from Epictetus. So much of our anxiety comes from trying to chew on things that are way outside of our control, like the past or what's going on in other people's minds. Focus on what you can chew.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Right now, what is one thing, just one, that you've been worrying about, one thing that is truly outside of your control, that you will consciously choose to let go of today? Because the real power, it's in that choice.